Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Sorry I haven't posted anything in the last few days, but I'm kind of, you know, I'm going to talk about my comics that I got over the weekend. Um, but before I get into that, let me say that YouTube is not. I don't think it's the place for me. um, I don't know what like I said, I know I understand people say that you should make better videos as far as the quality. And like I keep telling you, I don't have the time, and I don't really want to put in the effort to editing videos and to making fancy, flashy videos. I'm not buying a fancier camera. It really comes down to money. I mean, and time obviously equals money. I don't have the money to do all that stuff. Sure, you get free editing software, sort of, kind of, that suck, but you really have to pay. Anything good, you'd have to pay for it. And I don't really want to put the money into it because I don't really have the money to do so. I don't have the money to buy a new camera. I don't have the money to do a lot of things. I know that seems to be the catalyst here. And again, I can't spend a lot of time editing videos and putting a lot into the production of these because I just don't have the time. I'm too busy trying to hustle to make money in other avenues that are making money. So in those avenues, they ebb and they flow. And right now they're pretty lean right now. So I kind of have to do double duty to kind of increase sales there in that department. So these YouTube videos right now are not top priority for me, but I figured I'd make one this week. Maybe, I'll probably make one maybe over the next few days too as well. But I just wanted to go over what I picked up this weekend as far as comics. And here's the thing: it seems like the things I really like to talk about don't seem to be very popular. If you go on my YouTube page and you hit videos and you hit popular, my top ones, are talking about, the cheap guitars. Well, even if they're cheap, I still can't buy a guitar every day or every other day to keep making these cheap guitar videos. Nobody's sending them to me free. Even a cheap guitar, at $200, I don't have the money to blow $200 a couple of times a month on guitars just so I can make a video, But it seems like people like those. I also, I kind of talked about Kiss and Ace Frehley to death. There's not really much more I really need to say about them, so that kind of goes out the window. What else is popular? There's a few things here, but pretty much it seems like my most popular videos is me buying something and showing it. And I can't really keep, outside of comics, because nobody seems to care about the comics. My comic videos, like my She-Hulk and Spider-Woman, subscription comics videos, when I try to review them every, time I get a couple of them, they're in my, bottom 5, or bottom 10, or whatever, bottom 6 videos. Nobody, and, that's, I wonder if that's, nobody really cares about my opinion on them, or is it nobody cares about those comics? Comics with Perch just made a video recently about female superheroes and how one of the things that the companies do, and I totally agree with this, is they don't put their top talent on the female books. And they're trying to push female superheroes, obviously, with the MCU and with everything else, but they don't seem to be wanting to push them comic book-wise, and they don't put their top talent on it. If that's, like I said, if you're making all of your movies about the female superheroes, that's why they call it the MCU, but you're not putting your top, that means you would put your top talent on the female comic book characters, but you're not. So there's a disconnect there. And obviously, I love my Sensational She-Hulk and I love my Spider-Woman comics, but they're not, they don't seem to be selling. I even looked at Comic-Con numbers or other sites and stuff that give you sales numbers, and I think Sensational She-Hulk's is like the 85th comic out of the top 100. Spider-Woman not even on there. So I guess if those are my two primary comic books I keep reviewing, I can see why nobody's watching the videos, because nobody likes the comics. Which again, there's a disconnect again. My favorite stuff seems to be the least popular, and I don't really seem to like the popular stuff. So, you know, making YouTube videos on my comic books that I like seems to, like I said, there's a disconnect there, and I don't think YouTube is the place for me for that. You know, I don't know if, you know, there's lots of things I can sit there and drive myself crazy trying to wonder why nobody's watching these videos, but obviously the production value is probably a big catalyst of it, and, you know, putting time and effort into it. But I've seen videos by people who don't put any effort into it, and they've got a lot of following. So I guess it comes down to either myself, nobody likes to look at me, that's fine, or nobody likes the stuff that I'm talking about. Okay. I guess I'll stop talking. I'll finish this video out. But anyways, I just wanted to get that out there. So don't expect to see a lot of YouTube videos coming out. This is what I said to myself, I'll give myself 1 year. And, you know, I didn't know how many videos I would make in a year. But it looks like I'm going to push over. If I slow down a little bit, I might hit 200 in my entire year. So I'm at the 10th month. I've got 2 more months, so we're talking May and June. I actually started making videos in June. So by June, by the end of this month in May, I think June 6th was my first video. June's coming up. And I said I'd give myself a year of doing videos, and I've done a lot of them. And see if I can get monetized. I'm at 301 subscribers. I'm nowhere near... You know, after a year, I'm nowhere near getting monetization. So, obviously, I'm doing a lot of things wrong, and obviously, frankly, I don't care. Because I don't think this is the place for me. This kind of became like a cathartic kind of release of talking about making these videos. It doesn't really do that for me anymore. I'm kind of, you know, I'm done therapying myself. I just kind of realize I'm just not me and YouTube aren't compatible. So I know that it's time to get divorced. So that said, let me finish up what I'm going to be talking about here. So I did go to get comics this weekend. I did pick up issue 2 of the X-Men 97. I think this is the regular. This isn't the variant comic. This variant cover. This is the regular one. I haven't read it yet. I'll probably do a review on it. It seems like the first one got a couple of people on it. Let's see how much, just out of curiosity, what am I at with the first video? Go back to the, oh, there we go. No, that's not it. Let me go put these back in order here. Sorry. Again, probably something else that nobody wants to watch is me fumble around with looking up stuff. But anyways, latest videos. My latest video, yeah, was the, I did that 4 days ago. It got 26 views over the weekend. So, I don't think anybody's really watching that. But, so I will make a review of the second one. I'm debating whether or not, I don't know how good this is, if it's any good or not, because I haven't read it yet. But I'm debating even picking up the last 2. But I guess if I got the first 2, I might as well finish and get the last 2. You know, it's $8. Actually, I get a little bit of a discount for my comic shop. So it's probably more like $7 to get the rest of them. Okay. I'll do that. As far as the 2 facsimiles, of course, this is Secret. They're on Secret Wars number 4. That makes sense. So this is April's issue. So they're sticking with the 12-month plan for the 12-issue limited series. So I'm not reading this as I'm buying these. I'll probably go back and I've read it like a year ago. I think I might go back again and read them again. Less than a year ago I read them. If I want to do an actual video on the Secret Wars series, maybe, I don't know. Depends if I'm still making videos by that time or not. And then, of course, this started up Crisis of Infinite Earths. So essentially, this is DC's answer to Secret Wars. I mean, Secret Wars didn't, reboot the entire Marvel universe, as Crisis of Infinite Earths kind of rebooted the entire, DC universe. But it was kind of their answer of just having a popular crossover. And really, when it comes to DC Comics, for me personally, this is kind of where I started. I mean, like I said, I had a few here and there. I had The Dark Knight, I had Watchmen comics, but this 12-part maxi series, which I believe was right around the same time, it might have been after 85, because isn't it basically start the new age of comics for DC? But that's where, it's when, like, Teen Titans, of course that was, I have to check the dates on them, but right around there. This is where I kind of jumped on with DC, and I haven't read this in a long time. So again, I'll probably wait until I get them all and read them all as one big long story, and then do a video on Crisis on Infinite Earths. But I got that one. Those are the two facsimiles. I'm not going to talk about... I did buy a record. I bought a Rush Farewell to the Kings at the record shop, but I think I'm not going to get into those. I don't think anybody really cares. So I'm just going to kind of forego that. One thing, it did pop up early. I looked up to the mailbox. This was yesterday. And so Monday, I went up to the mailbox, and Spider-Woman number 6 was in the mailbox for my subscriptions. This doesn't actually come out until... You're probably seeing this on Wednesday. I don't think it comes out until Wednesday. So I got it early. I guess, hey, I want to do a review on it before it's even out, so I can be cool, right? I read it. I'll do the video on the two comics like I did, because obviously the 6 people that watched the other versions, the other 2 sets, it seems like that's my audience for the double shot with She-Hulk and Spider-Woman. And I'll get into that. Again, I really don't like this cover. The comic itself, I read it yesterday, and kind of a head scratcher. It wasn't bad. Again, I'll get into it when I do my review. It's just kind of a head scratcher. I'm like, huh? I know she's heading out west. She's going to San Francisco. Yeah. So she kind of like her little thing, kind of a hiccup she has on the way out to San Francisco. So. Again, She-Hulk that's number 6 of Spider-Woman, so She-Hulk number 8 should be coming in at the beginning of next month, so that's probably when I'll do my double shot on that. Other than that, that's really all I picked up. It was probably a short video. I mean, we're at, like, 15 minutes. Again, my point was to try to get something out there and to kind of let people know, hey, I'm getting towards the end of my my rope here, and I'm getting ready to kind of walk on YouTube. I'm not going to take down the channel. Videos will still stay up. I probably, unless there's something I really want to talk about, I probably won't make another video for after that year. Like I said, I gave it a year, gave it a shot, and I probably did a million things wrong, which is fine. That's all on me. Do I want to spend the next year putting in the effort to do things better? Not really. Do I want to put the time and the money into making my videos better? Not really. Is there anything I could talk about that would be more popular? Not that I would be faking it. I could sit there and shill, or sit there and just go and be hyperbolic and just, everything sucks, and blah, woke this, and blah, 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 the end of the world, the sky is falling. I could do that, to get clicks, but I don't really have the energy to do that, and, for the most part, here's the thing I like to tell people that I know, family members and stuff, and this is something, I don't think it registers with a lot of people, and it might not register with you, but here's the thing is, as bad as people say it is right now, the economy, and yes, the groceries are expensive. Uh, gas is expensive. I don't have a vehicle, so I don't really pay for the vehicle expenses. Um, so yes, inflation is bad. It seems like we're in this political insanity too, with right versus left, the whole woke nonsense. Everything seems to be going to hell in a handbasket. But you want to know something? For me personally, outside of getting older and feeling the physicalness of being old, I'm in the best time of my life. I'm having the best time of my life. This is the longest. Like I said, this is living in this apartment is the longest time I've ever spent in one place. Right? It's also the being the longest. Also the longest I've spent on my own. Like not married to somebody, not roommating with somebody, not living with parents, not living with grandparents. I've spent the last 12 years since my divorce by myself. Well, that and with my son, who's 12. We have joint custody, so he's not here all the time. But and I've since the pandemic, when I first started to go full time into doing comics, now I'm doing what I've always loved to do. Right, so I've got the job that I've always wanted. Now, granted, it doesn't pay that great. It seems to be the highest paying job I've had so far, though. Which again, I'm doing what I like, what I've always wanted to do. It's the highest paying job. I'm living on my own without anybody else. I not only is the high paying job, I have no boss really. I'm my own boss, and yeah. What's not to like about the last 5 years? I hear people, online, the sky is falling. Entertainment sucks. Movies suck now. They've all gone woke. Nobody can write a story. TV sucks. Streaming sucks. Streaming's killing this. Blur, blur, blur. The sky is falling. I mean, yes, we don't live in Gaza or a place like that, so it's or Ukraine, so we're relatively safe here for the time being. But like I said, I've heard the sky is falling just constantly, and it's like, for me, I'm not really doing that great bad. I'm actually doing the best. I'm doing the best I ever can. So go away, sorry. Yeah. So, like I said, I have nothing to be hyperbolic about. I have nothing to sit there and bitch and moan about to get clicks, because there's, outside of a few things here that tick me off, which, there's always been stuff that's ticked me off. I don't really have a problem with much stuff. I mean, new comics, everybody says they suck. I'm enjoying them. I'm enjoying them about as much as I enjoyed comics in the 80s. Definitely enjoying them more than I enjoyed comics in the 90s. I've got more action figures than I've ever have in my entire life at one time, which again, I can't really make action figure videos anymore because I kind of stopped buying action figures. I don't game anymore, so I can't really make too many videos on gaming as far as role-playing gaming, wargaming, tabletop stuff, that type of thing, or video gaming, because I'm not really playing any video games. For the most part, I think my entire life right now is pretty much comics, making comics, and I dabble in music a little bit, but not to the extent where I need to talk about it on video really anymore. I made some videos here and there and that, but really at the end of the day, do you really care what I think? I mean, I'm not a good guitar player. I'm not a good singer. I've got cheap imitation equipment. I mean, I've got a real amplifier, and I've got stuff, My record collection. Does anybody really care about my record collection? I mean, it's my taste, and I like what I like, and, I don't think there's anybody who really cares about the records. And, the collecting world of collecting records. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I've been trying for all these videos, trying to find some kind of angle to talk about what's basically in my life and my interests, and it really, outside of me just doing a video on like, hey, these are the things that I had, or this is what I'm into now. I really can't continue to churn out videos on that stuff, with the exception of pretty much comics. You know, that's about the only thing that it's the only thing left that's really left affordable to buy. You know, I mean, it's funny because, you know, when I first started collecting comics in 1984, comics were 60 cents. I remember when they went to 75 cents. You know, and for the price of 3 arcade games, 3/4 you can pump into, say, an arcade game, I can buy a comic book. And then I remember when they changed just $1, right, towards the late 80s and into the 90s, they were $1, then $1.25 for the longest time. Then I was out. I mean, I was done with comics pretty much by 1991. As far as Marvel, you know, I still collect I still collected Wonder Woman and Catwoman. I got some Gen 13, but my comic buying in the 90s was very minuscule. You know, so now comics are $3.99 cover. Like I said, you get the subscriptions. You can get them for just over $2 a piece. So now we're going back to, you know, 90s money for the comics. So really the only thing left to collect and to enjoy on a monthly basis is, for me, is really comic books. So it's my first love anyways. So kind of sticking with that. All right, I'll let you go here. One thing, what did I want to point out? Anything? Oh yeah, real quick, let me just touch on this. Speaking of comics, like I said, I'm getting the Spider-Woman, and here's where I'm going to show you where my interest still won't catch anybody, is Spider-Woman and She-Hulk, right? Remember, I like the lady comics, always have for the longest time. But I'm just going to flip over here real quick. So here's DC's. I was thinking about getting a couple of DC subscriptions too, just to save some money. Because even if my local comic shop pulls these every month, I'm only going to get a 35 or 15% discount. You know, as opposed to I get a 40% discount, and they're delivered. I don't have to go anywhere for free shipping. So you really can't beat these subscriptions. I can't stress this enough when it comes to comics. If people are complaining about comic books, going, you know, I just can't shell out $4 every, you know, a comic every week. You know, I can't spend $25 a week on comics, because are you really reading more than that? Then don't. Subscribe to them. Sure, you have to pay the money up front, but I mean, then you don't have to do anything. They just keep coming to your mailbox, and you're paying half the price pretty much. I know they say 40% off, but yeah, it's pretty much half. I mean, no, it's not half, it's 40%. But anyways, it's a lot cheaper than you're going to get through a discount of people pulling them at your local comic book shops. Sure, support your local comic book shops. If you want to do that, that's fine. But I mean, if your biggest catalyst to you spending money on, you know, or buying comic books, new comic books, is the cost, you can just subscribe, and you'll get them for 40% off, right, and delivered. So I'm looking at DC to see if there's anything in DC. Speaking of, you know, Crisis of Infinite Earths, the only thing, like I said, I'm just going to go through these real quick just to show you. I'm not a Superman fan. Batman's okay. I can take Batman in small doses, even though I loved him as a kid. As an adult, in current Batman, I can only, you know, read his origin when his parents get shot, you know, so many times before I'm like, I know what happened. You need to stop. You need to stop it. And it's like, and it pretty much, it's Joker this, Joker that, and it's just like, I don't really like the Joker, so I guess it's kind of pointless for me to read Batman. Batman and Robin? Yeah, Robin's not selling that on me. Batman and Superman? Well, okay, let's take the two comics I don't want to put them together. No. Batman by Gotham by Gaslight? No. Birds of Prey? Yes. I'm considering getting Birds of Prey. You know, the last couple issues I thought were pretty good. I just read the CBRs. I didn't pick up the comics, but I'm thinking about subscribing. They've got a lot of my Black Canary, Big Barda. You know, those are two of my favorite DC characters. there and there, and they're drawn well. They got a real kind of unique style. It's not like it's not super my cup of tea, but I let's just put it this way. I'll get to this when I go down. So I guess we'll make this video a little longer. It's a lot better than like what's going on with Harley Quinn or currently with Power Girl. I can't stand that quasi manga anime cartoony style. I just can't take it. I just don't like it. It looks almost like, like webcomic-y. I don't know. But Birds of Prey looks good. I'll probably pick up a subscription to Birds of Prey most likely. I know it's normally a $5 book, but again, you get 40% off here. Blue Beetle, I liked him in Justice League International. Catwoman, I just read the most recent Catwoman comic, the CBR to it, and it was a good comic. It doesn't seem very Catwoman-y. It was like Catwoman in name only, but I like Catwoman. She's one of my favorite characters, female characters, or DC characters, because pretty much all my favorite characters are female. But yeah, so I would pick up Catwoman just like I did in the 90s. Detective Cop, not more Batman. Green Arrow, never was a Green Arrow fan. Green Lantern's okay. I'd rather see the Star Sapphire comic, personally. That's not going to happen. Green Punisher War Journal or Green Lantern War Journal, no. Again, I would collect Harley Quinn, but I cannot stand the art style. And her and Poison Ivy together, that's fine. I don't mind that. I haven't really read it, so I don't know if the story is any good, but as far as going on the art, because remember, I'm an artist first. I'm not going to collect the Alien 2, I'm not going to do Mad. Not going to do, no Superman, I'm not a big Nightwing fan. Poison Ivy is good. I just looked at I didn't read it, but I looked at the art of the newest Poison Ivy. I really like the art. I don't know about the story, but I really like the art. So I would probably pick up Poison Ivy. It seems like I would pick up, even though I'm more of a Marvel person, as far as the female characters, and this has kind of always been the same way, is DC really has a lot of popular female characters, and that's pretty much what's kept me interested in DC. So it's not the Watchmen, it's not the Dark Knight, it's not Batman, it's not the Joker. It's always been Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Black Canary, Big Barda, those characters. Speaking of Power Girl, if the cover art was the same as the inside, it would be fine. I would pick it up. But it's kind of like the Harley Quinn art. I can't stand the interior art. Now, I don't know if the newest issue is going to change. If they changed to a better art, I would probably pick it up. I don't mind. I guess I don't mind that they've put her in pants, although they're skin tight, so it's just like her being bare-thighed. But you still get the boob window, so there you go. You get the Lobo chick. I can't remember what her name is. But if the artwork picks up on that, I would pick that up as a subscription. The rest of these, Shazam, don't care about. Scooby, I'm not gonna get Scoobs. Flash, I've never been I don't dislike Flash, but I can't just read Flash. Penguin, I don't know, sorry. The Titans is good, and the artwork right now in the Titans is really good, and that's kind of what keeps me interested in it. And it's got Donna Troy in it. I love Donna Troy. It's got, Starfire and Raven are in it. So it's got the girls, and then of course the Wonder Woman comic, which I just read the most recent one, the one that comes out this week. I read the CBR of it, and it's weird. I don't say I hated it. I felt it a little tedious. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what's going on in it. I'm just starting to read it again. I really love Yara Flor. I think she's amazing looking. I love the Brazilian thing. I love the black hair, the dark skin. I love her outfit. As far as a new character, she's knocks it out of the park. I love this character. The other Wonder Girl, she's okay. She's just kind of like your typical Betty character. And then I always like Donna Troy because she's basically just a teenage version of Diana, or she's not a teenager now, but she was the younger version of Diana. So yeah, Wonder Woman, Titans, Power Girl is a maybe if they change the art. Harley Quinn's a maybe if they change the art. Poison Ivy, sure. Catwoman and Birds of Prey. We're down to 7 comics. That's 7 comics out of their regular regular monthly series that I'm willing to subscribe to. Now that's what it's a lot of money though. That's like over $200 in subscriptions. I probably wouldn't do that right away. I'd probably try to piece it out, like maybe start one every month, just to kind of bring the cost down. So that's a possibility. I might start up with that. I don't know which one. I probably do first. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Catwoman. I'm not sure. On the Marvel side of it, like I said, there's not much left. There's only, like I said, the dudes just don't do it for me. I don't mind the dudes in the group book and the team books, like, X-Men. Yeah, X-Men I may or may not jump on. There's rebooting all that anyways. I'm just going to see what happens with all of that. But Spider-Woman, Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ghost looks promising, but I only need one Spider-Girl, and that would be Spider-Woman. She-Hulk. Again, same thing with... It goes for Captain Marvel, too, with... what's her face? What's her name? Carol Danvers. I think I would pick her comic up if the art was better. The art doesn't have to be better necessarily. If she change her I can't stand the costume. Bring the Warbird costume back, which reminds me, I need to do a video sometime because of an action figure that I may get, but probably not, because again, I think I'm done with action figures. But they have a Warbird Carol Danvers coming out in Marvel Legends, and it looks really good, and it is spot on. It's what you want. If you want Warbird Carol Danvers, it's Warbird Carol Danvers, and I'm seriously considering her and the She-Hulk figure when she comes out. But again, those are my exceptions. Other than that, I'm kind of done with action figures. So, it is what it is. Alright, there you go. I talked for longer than I thought I was going to talk. So, next video coming up, I don't know. Maybe I'll do the Warbird video next. I'm not sure. I mean, all I'm going to do is just kind of talk about it. I don't have the figures, not out yet, but, maybe. Again, like I said, I'm just kind of in this weird kind of limbo here with my YouTube where I'm just not wanting to... not really, put any priority into it right now. I'll make a video when I feel like making a video. I had some time this afternoon. I figured I'd, take a little break and make a video. And then, just to get one out because I haven't had one out since last Friday. So you're probably only going to see a video maybe 1 or 2 a week. So if you want to see lots of content, obviously you don't because the numbers aren't there. So I'm just going to continue out my year as planned, and if nothing happens by the end of that year, and no monetization, or if I don't move past 300 subscribers, then I think I'm done. Alright, but like and subscribe if you want to help to keep that going, but I think it's kind of pointless at this point to keep, begging people to like and subscribe because very little of you are. So if you see this video and you want to, you want to keep it going, then, hey, comment something, say, hey, I'd like to see it going, or hey, like and subscribe. Go back and like every video just to get my numbers up, but you don't have to. I'm not expecting you to do it. Like I said, I'm just going to follow out my year and see where it lands me. Alright, I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, talk to you later. Bye-bye.